One man, one van, and two cats. Pure awesomeness. I also travel with my two partners who each have their own cat. We're full-time nomads and travel all over the country. Check out my adventures with my crew of felines and humans as we live rent-free, explore, and generally just have a great time. You're invited. I hope you come along because you're guaranteed to enjoy the ride. So sit back, hang tight, and don't forget to buckle up. What's going on, guys? It's Kai here again, and welcome to yet another video. Today's a kind of fun and interesting one in that I'm going to share with you guys one of my favorite things in life, honestly, and especially in doing van life, because I kind of associate these two things together, even though you totally don't have to be doing van life to go to this place or shop at this place. Um, so what it is thrifting, and what it is specifically is Goodwill outlet thrifting. It doesn't actually necessarily have to be a Goodwill outlet. It can be any by the pound thrift store. So a lot of people I've talked to in my travels, acquaintances, friends, they don't know what is a by the pound thrift store. So they hear Goodwill and they think, oh yeah, I go there sometimes. I like to go thrift shopping and stuff. But when I say, oh, that's cool, and have you ever been to a Goodwill outlet? They go, oh, yeah, sure. And I go, like the one that's, by weight, like buy things by the pound? And they go, oh, yeah, no, actually, what is that? So some of you guys might be thinking the same thing, like, yeah, sure, I shop at Goodwill, but you don't know about the outlets. So that's my job here, is to share with you guys one of my all-time favorite things that I love so much: thrift shopping by the pound. Okay, so how it works is Goodwill's, in my opinion, the prices are going up. Honestly, they're a little overpriced. I'm not really a fan of shopping at any regular Goodwill stores anymore. But that being said, the Goodwill outlets are crazy. I mean, and by crazy, I mean awesome. You pay for the weight of the items. So literally, there'll be a flat rate and you just pay that rate. On a side note, I don't work for Goodwill or anything. I'm not just trying to, advertise them. This is genuinely something that I love, and me and my partners love. We try to go to as many outlets as we can, as often as possible. You can probably tell I have a lot of stuff, so it's probably largely the fault of the outlets. I'm just kidding. That's the fault of me liking stuff. The outlets are just the middleman. But anyway, so how they work is, as I said, it's by weight, it's all by the pound. So you can literally decide how much you pay. You could find something that is very lightweight and you buy it and you pay the flat rate. Say it's $1.50 a pound. You might be paying literally $1.50 for something. So you find a whole bunch of things that are really cheap and they're literally a pound. You paid $1.50. You get what I'm saying. So you could actually buy heavy items and many of them, and you'd be paying a lot more than $1.50 because it'd be many pounds. So it's really awesome because you can really use your thriftiness, but also your shrewd sense of what's a good price on something, what's a good value, and how much does it weigh. And then from there you can decide, is this worth it? Should I actually buy it? Kind of gauge it out. You can even check the weight of things before you buy and be like, how much does this weigh? Is this worth it? So Goodwill outlets are awesome. Again, any by the pound thrift store doesn't even have to be a Goodwill. There are independent ones too out there if you look. So I'm about to take you all out on a little shopping fun that I had. This is a few weeks ago, month and a half ago maybe, in actually St. Louis, Missouri. And Chloe actually had to work. She has a remote job, but I'll do a whole video about how we make money and work at a later time. But she actually had to work, so it was just me and Coda, and we took a little, thrift shopping excursion. I did some filming, and I'm gonna take you all over there a little bit to the past, and y'all can see how it is in case you've never been to one, in case you've never even heard of those before. Now you're gonna see they're amazing. And just so you know, it is a bunch of piles of stuff in giant bins, and you literally just have to paw through everything and try to find things that are of value, maybe even something you've been looking for or really want, and it could even be something that is actually really valuable that should not even really have been donated. Maybe some rich person had donated it, and you're like, oh my God, this is actually a crazy find. You know, this is incredible. So before I do, I wanted to show y'all actually some of the things that I have found in Goodwill Outlets that are amazing. Some of the really awesome finds. Now, not all of these are going to blow your mind, but I picked some things that just to give you an idea of a spectrum of what to look for. Some things to know are about half of every outlet is going to be mostly just like clothes, fabric stuff, you know. The other half is going to be what they call like wares or housewares, and that's going to be the stuff that, you know, usually I'm interested in. I have a lot of clothes. I need to put the brakes on clothes, but I'm usually interested in the cool gadgets. You know, I'm a guy. I got like a man cave on wheels. I'm interested in what's the cool stuff I can find. I like survival stuff, you know, electronics, novelty crap, you know, etc. So I wanted to show you all a few things I have found real quick, so you can just have an idea. So random, I know, but this is a electric can opener, battery operated. Actually runs on 4 AA batteries. So really awesome for van life because I don't need like a big old bulky one that's like on the counter. Having to crank, you know, on an old school like regular can opener can be annoying, and you know, it can have problems. So this thing literally this weighs maybe a pound, maybe. So I got it for like $1 to $2. We found outlets that are literally $1 per pound. We found some that are up to $2 a pound. So the prices probably are increasing over time, but just so you know, some of them can be really cheap, like $1. I think I've even seen one for less, maybe 79 cents. Another thing I found, which is really awesome, is this is actually a power unit, like a little battery pack. I'm sure you guys are familiar with these. You can find these a lot at outlets. You know, you charge them up and then you can plug in your phone or other devices into the little ports. So I've got a small army of these guys because they, for a while there, I was finding them all the time. I don't know why. But so yeah, another item you might find at the outlet. Something else too, this is a pepper spray, some mace. I know, right? So I'll hold this up so you guys can see a better look at it. Stuff like this, I mean, actually I say stuff like this, I've never found anything like this before, but I was like, oh crap, this is some pepper spray. So sure, why not? Stuff like that. This is actually a little action camera. This is a 4K action camera. This is going to be one of the main competitors to a GoPro, you know. So it's a Casso. And I actually use this guy all the time. A lot of the footage I have on my channel is actually from one of these. So a little 4K camera, really cool, really awesome find. And the battery on it was pretty much completely dead and toast. So I just ordered a new one. It was like $5 or $6. And yeah, I think somebody donated it because it didn't seem to work anymore, but it totally works. It works great. So those are just some examples to show y'all. Chloe has actually found work mics she uses, like a headset with like the earpiece and the microphone. She uses those for work, and they're noise canceling and they're really high quality. They're awesome. I've got a little ring light actually right here just to kind of diffuse the light on my right side here. That's actually being used right now. It's from a Goodwill outlet. Got a fan over here off screen that I use all the time. Actually 2 fans that I both use were from the outlet. So there's just endless things you can find there, stuff that you can use in everyday life. A lot of people don't like to use clothes that they, you know, got at a thrift store somebody else had used, but you can definitely skip that and just go straight to the wares like I do. Or the clothes, you know, you can totally wash them and sterilize them, that's fine. But if that's not your thing, you can do what I do. I just go straight to that section. And usually the girls, they might go and look at some of the clothes too, because they're girls. They buy way too many shoes, you know, the usual. But anyway, yeah, let's go over to a few weeks ago at the Goodwill outlet in St. Louis, Missouri, and let's take a little excursion. You can see what it's like. And hopefully you like what you see as much as I like what I see when I'm there. So let's go. Let's go thrift shopping. too. So there you have it. That's a small glimpse into a Goodwill outlet. The one in St. Louis, on a side note, is really awesome. I really like it. I have like some favorites because I'm a huge nerd. Um, I can give you guys some heads up. If you ever find yourself going through New Mexico, specifically Albuquerque, which on a side note, you should probably leave as soon as possible. But if you find yourself in Albuquerque, I used to live there, I know, maybe there's not a lot of stuff I can say that's really a positive, but the Goodwill outlet there is like the cheapest I've ever, no. The second cheapest I've ever seen. I think theirs is 99 cents a pound. So that's incredible. If you find yourself in New York State, which we are actually in currently, the one in Rochester, New York is, I kid you not, 39 cents a pound for wares, which is mind-blowingly awesome. All of us van lifers, all of you van lifers, potential van lifers, you could go and find everything you need for your van, for your setup in one go. Not really, but you know, after a few visits probably. If you go the route like me, which is a no build, you literally just want some furniture in there, boom, go to a thrift store, but definitely go to a Goodwill outlet if your city has them, because I know sometimes they don't. But yeah, so one other little piece of advice I wanted to share with y'all, I found out this the hard way, is say you're lucky enough to find a really awesome device, but by that I mean a device that's like, you know, cell phone, laptop, tablet, something that can hold your personal information. Goodwill has a policy that they're not supposed to sell it to you. So they'll be like, oh, they see it in your cart, you know, they're like, oh, I have to take this away from you because it might have somebody's personal information and we weren't supposed to even have it on the floor. So that has happened to me. Tear, very sad about that. And I tried to, like, you know, work the charm on them and convince them. They're like, no, I'm sorry, we can't do it. So a word of advice, if you're going to go to a Goodwill outlet, make sure to find any kind of a bag, not necessarily a backpack or like a purse, but even just like a plastic bag, any sort of a paper bag, anything, and put your stuff in there. Um, and they might want to peek in there real quick, but or you can just tell them, hey, I just have wares, or I just have clothes or whatever. But if you find a device like that, make sure it's in a bag, ideally not very visible, because they will pull that out and you'll be very sad. Um, Other times when I was lucky and I, you know, had stuff where they didn't see it, that's cool. I was able to buy it. But there was one tragic time. I think it was a tablet. Yeah, it was a tablet I was trying to buy, and that got shot down. So anyway, that's a little pro tip for y'all when you go shopping. But yeah, guys, I wanted to share the awesomeness that is one of my favorite things in life: shopping for awesome things you can find at a by the pound thrift store. Oh, love it so much. Um, it's ideal for van life, but it's ideal for life as well. Ideal for van life because we've been to so many outlets in the US. It's incredible. We're not stuck in one city where we just have the one outlet over and over and over. We've been to, like, I want to say 20 off the top of my head, if I had to guess. Um, and I think I already mentioned Rochester is probably the best for price that we've been to in New York State. Um, Albuquerque was really good. If I think of more, maybe I'll leave myself a comment on which one would be third place, but those two would be at the top of my list. So St. Louis's was really awesome, but the price is a little more. Denver has a really good one, but price is a little bit more too. So anyway, guys, I'll stop rambling now, but I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, be sure to like and subscribe and comment. That would really help me out. And before I go, as always, I'll have some parting words for y'all. Do no harm, always do good, and never stop thinking for yourself. Until next time, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.